row of the grid. 5 red lights go on, and as soon as they go off, let's watch the pole sitter.
Pantano leapt, Pantano jumped.
Pantano got away very quickly. Scott Speed is trying to fend him off, and that has let Nico Rosberg off the hook a little bit, because Rosberg was very slow away. Jose Maria Lopez may take second yet from Speed. No, good recovery from the American driver. 2 cars off right at the back. One of them might well have been Matthias Lauda. Let's have a look as they come into turn 3. Still Rosberg, the white car in front. Turn 4, this sharp right-hander. Left-handed turn 5, plunging downhill into 5 and 6. And then they continue to drop down. There's a long, straight Formula 1 cars. They reckon will be doing around 155 miles an hour into the braking area here for 7. And then climbing the hill a little bit, compared perhaps slightly ambitiously. Prema picking up a place, yes, and a little bit of a tie rub there with Eau Rouge at Spa. Scott Speed, though, chasing the leader again as they climb up the hill. Long triple left-hander at turn 8. And up to the hairpin at turn 9. Sharp left at turn 9, and then immediately a sweeping right after it. Over the brow, down into this sequence, and Lopez staying ahead of Pantano, but you can see offline, Gareth, very dusty indeed.
Yeah.
And oh, Prema
sliding around.
Coming around the outside of Piquet. That is ballsy as you like. That was a great move. And there goes Adam Carroll as well. Has Piquet got trouble? I think he must have. Yep. And Lopez and Pantano breaking 3 behind them. Carroll does get by, Pantano doesn't.
I think Pantano has jumped the start. I think he's going to get penalised for that. He just crept as the light was still all on red, so expect a penalty for him, a drive-through penalty.
Well, Piquet in trouble from behind as well. That's Jimmy Bruni's red car, but Rosberg with a second clear over Scott Speed, and Scott Speed with 2, and that is Neil Yarni, our last race winner. Neil Yarni, not the last one, he won the first race in Pantano. A good buffer to this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, about 17 car train right behind.
Here's a replay of Yarni going off, I think, isn't it?
It is indeed.
See what
now,
he does.
First time I've seen this from on board. Oh!
It's,
now, did he get lost? He just got lost, didn't he?
I don't know what happened there.
I expect, and Neil Yarni might perhaps have remembered that the pits aren't open until the end of lap 2. I don't know. It did look like he was aiming for the pit lane at the end of lap 1 and didn't make it. So, pit lanes a go-go with cars, but the leader has stayed out. He got started, didn't complete an entire lap before they needed the safety car as Neil Yarni got helped off track and into the barriers at the end of the pit lane. But it's the pole man, Nico Rosberg, who leads from fellow front row starter Scott Speed as they get the green. Jose Maria Lopez started and is 3rd. 4th place across the line, the red car Matthias Lauda. That might be the work of genius, staying out for Lauda, who qualified 24th and last on the grid. And having a look at him was Alexandre Prema, who has stopped ahead of Giorgio Pantano. Prema couldn't get by Lauda, and as a result has dropped back into the clutches of Pantano. But Pantano had worrying opening lap, and they will both end up being in a better position to battle for the championship if they can work together. Well, Lauda under big pressure. Prema sold the dummy. Great move. Absolutely forced Lauda to cover to the outside. Having a dive, not Jimmy Bruni. Hashimoto, as we said, disappointed in qualifying to be very badly balked on his fastest lap. He reckoned he could have been in the top 3 or 4.
Yeah, I think Artan got in his way, didn't he?
Yeah.
Wandered across his path.
But again here,
Prema.
Yeah, Lauda in the middle of the road, and Prema really forced him to go right quite early on, and Lauda went for it. I would certainly have... Oh, is this Adam Carroll? Yep. Oh, yes, that looks like this.
That's Artan, yeah.
It was. That was a pitch it in sideways. That was
hero, local hero.
Absolutely. Well, maybe he is going to hero himself here. And he's got a good little race on his hands as well, hasn't he? Because he's given away a big toe up over the brow. And another good braking area coming up here. And in fact, he's been passed. That was a good move. And a good move back as well. That's Ernesto Visa. Most commonly heard phrase about those moves, a waste of 2 perfectly good seats. I think that's perhaps a little harsh on Rubinho, maybe, I don't know. Ooh, blimey Charlie, that was Scott Speed doing his tyres no favours. Was that...
He's having a lunge, isn't he?
Well, no, by the time he ended up, he was almost close enough to have a lunge, but he can't have been at the start of that one. Yeah. Ooh! Oh, now, maybe that's what was going on. maybe he stood on the anchors because Rosberg suddenly cut dead in the corner, because Rosberg is going to be out of this one.
Well, that's good news for Kovalainen and the speed, but not good for the viewer, unfortunately.
Now he's coming back onto the racing line, but he's absolutely not at anything approaching racing speed. And one of the problems with it being uphill now towards the pit lane is that he might not make it in. He will make it in. Well, there you go. That was the curse of the commentators. Mention the old man, and the boy appears in all sorts of trouble. So that brief chat with Felipe Massa will be all over now, as Keke wanders off to see exactly what has befallen the ART team.
Beauty.
Yeah, a few more smiles on the Arden pit wall, that's for sure. A little bit of a sigh of relief. But for the iSport team, that's very good news indeed, potentially for Scott Speed. Well, the laptop's coming out. Whether they'll be able to resuscitate the car or not, the engine's still running. Sounds to me then as if it must be a transmission glitch of some kind, either that or the engine is only running at idle.
Engine off.
Well, nobody's going for the straps yet, and that's very interesting.
Well, the thing is, it's like F1. The longer you can stay out in the race, the better. If he was to retire now, clearly he's not going to get points. If he was retired now and just gave up, he basically starts tomorrow's race from the back of the grid.
Drone. I wonder if that is actually the Turkish for autodrome, or whether it is a clever pun on Ottoman and autodrome, as I at first amusingly thought. We'll have to wait and find out. Giorgio Pantano, though, the man running down the inside line into the first corner. And these little sweeping downhill S's. Runs out wide, though, got in a little flat and a little, well, over-ambitiously and under-committedly, I'd have to say, for Pantano. Yeah, and that leaves him in danger with Nelson Piquet right behind him. And our race leader, Alexandre Prema, saw that one coming probably from a long way back. Clivio Piccioni about to pick up another place.
Lose a place, I think.
Is he?
I think that's Speed going past him.
Now that's very interesting. Yes, it is. And that is Lopez right behind him. So I thought he was just easing up to Borja.
To the sleep. He was still in fifth gear. I was down in third, ready to go. Bang. At that level, you'd be surprised. Drivers still don't know what the regulations are. It's amazing.
Well, drivers perhaps they ought to spend more time reading the Blue Book on their exercise cycles.
It would pay. It would pay.
Ferdinando Monfordini getting himself in. So Durango have certainly got a good setup, because Monfordini's looking as racy as he has done all season, and Piccioni's made plenty of overtaking manoeuvres as well. And Monfordini in moving, and the millimetric amount of creep that they detect is quite frustrating. Oh, look at this. Another racy manoeuvre coming up.
Oh, that's a good move.
Yeah. Oh, I wasn't watching that one. I was watching it. I was watching in front.
I think Artan was asleep there, wasn't he?
I think so, slightly. Now, was that Pla picking up a place?
I think it was. I think it was.
Might well have been.
You're right.
Oh, looking back, is this back from... now.
That's Scott doing Piccioni after the restart, yeah. Yeah, nice move, nice move.
Oh, Piccioni didn't give him much room, did he?
Cigarette paper, that's all you need.
Good stuff.
Right, up the inside he goes.
So again, that's the great thing about these this new sort of phase of left-right, left corners, that you get a chance to run side by side.
Yes,
you make them wide enough.
That's right.
You can allow a bit of cut and thrust.
Go past Alvarez.
Look how much cleaner the inside is going to respond in terms of grip, because you've only had half an hour of qualifying in anything like the same kind of conditions. Look at that.
Thanks very much. I love those places. Yeah, you're right. I mean, look at, we gave the example of Arden earlier on. I mean,
still not being challenged really successfully by Giorgio Pantano at all. Borja Garcia on target for his first podium of the season, because he got past Nelson Piquet, and that we saw the tail end of that little squabble with Piquet behind the team.
I'm just wondering why Scott Speed dropped off. I'm guessing it was to, go and do the fastest lap.
Last lap lunge at the S's from Pantano, and that's the race done. And it was, he's lunged there before, and he's never quite found the right line.
No.
And all the other overtaking opportunities that present themselves to everybody else, an overtaking racer's brain. And I mean, even the tilted camera angle looks like Interlagos, doesn't it?
It does.
That is fabulous, and that's one of the. There you are. There's a little house joke from the travelling. Carroll, where did he come from on the grid? 7th to 7th. Well, see, didn't really happen, did it?
No, he's
went backwards.
Yeah.
Went backwards completely, and whatever was up with him was completely up with him. In the end, quite a narrow margin of victory, but that will flatter Pantano, I think, rather than humble Prema. Alexandre Prema won that as he wanted once the leaders got caught out. For whatever reason it was with the safety car, and Borja Garcia there on the extreme right-hand side of the picture, he will be very, very happy with that win, with that third place. That'll be as good as a win for him in a month of Sundays. So Borja Garcia. What are we seeing here? Oh, this is the...
that was Pla losing it on the last lap, wasn't it?
That was it, last lap, down the hill there. Dear, oh dear.
That was...
DPR team will be from delight to disappointment there on that last lap, won't they? But Prema, again, Art showing, our Grand Prix team showing they really, really have got their heads around this car so well.
Yeah.
They can now, it seems, in the second half of the season, engineer these two cars to the top of the field absolutely anywhere. And that is the top dozen then. So good day at the office for Prema. Not too bad for Scott Speed as well, considering disappointment for Pla there. Adam Carroll will be reasonably okay with that, considering he had a car that really, Gareth, didn't seem to be doing an awful lot for him there.
No.
So some fat pulled from the fire for the Arden team, with Kovalainen in 10th. No points though, which is a little bit of disappointment. But
and a midfield start tomorrow, which is to be avoided if you can help it.
10th better though than 17th.
Yeah.
So Rosberg still going round, so in fact he won't be right at the back of the field, will he? But he'll have Lauda, Alvarez, Viso, Mondini in front of him, and